新年到! Hi, Abel here. A couple of days ago, I watched this movie and you are probably thinking, aren't there any more movies? Well, with the current pandemic, a lot of movies got pushed back and it's including Vanguard. In case you don't know, Vanguard was actually supposed to be released during Chinese New Year this year, but you know, stuff happened. That was why I said 新年快乐 at the beginning of this video, because that's what they actually said at the end of the movie. Vanguard is directed by Stanley Tong. If you don't know who that guy is, he has been around directing a lot of Chinese movies since the early 90s. Probably you will know his work of the Police Story 4 and 3. Without beating around the bush too much, let's get into the movie and what I like about it. So obviously Jackie Chan is the best thing about the movie. You can still find many of his charms when he does his action, you know, those comedic action style. As usual, Jackie Chan is his own stuntman. He does a lot of his own stunts in the movie. And if you recall a news that was released last month, I believe, the news reported that he actually almost drowned while doing his own stunt, and thank God he's still alive. It would be nice to have more of him, but he's getting old. So yeah, Jackie Chan is the only best part of the movie. Admittedly, I have not watched a lot of Chinese movies over the years. When I finished watching Vanguard, I was reminded of why I stopped watching Chinese movies. As you can tell from my title above, it's really bad. Bad script writing, horrible editing, too many expositions. Oh my god. And it's really puzzling because Stanley Tong is quite a reputable director in his own right. But what the heck happened there? So it's a bad movie not because of the story, but because of the things I just mentioned just now. For example, poor script writing. The one that I can think of on top of my head is that when the terrorists, they were communicating to each other at the beginning of the movie. This is actually what they say. The snake has slithered out of his cave. Who approved this writing? A lot of dialogues written for these villains are horribly written. I do not know how they got approved, because it sounded like dialogues you will hear from a video game that doesn't take itself seriously. Another horrible script dialogue that I remember is that when this character's son, who was visiting him in the office, he brought along this toy, right? And this toy is called Captain China. And I kid you not, this kid actually said, "I prefer Captain China to Captain America." Come on, you can do better than that. The movie also have tons of expositions, meaning that when you arrive at this particular scene, that this character will tell another character about what is happening. So in a way, they are feeding the audience information. Not that it's particularly a bad thing, but if you have too many of those, you're actually taking your audience for granted that we are pretty dumb, and we are not actually. One of the exposition scenes that I remember the most is when this actor, I believe his name is Yang, when he was looking at the profile of this girl that was supposed to rescue, you know, he was just saying, "Oh, she's so brave, she's like so courageous to go alone and being an animal activist, you know, so caring. So courageous." So okay, so this is telling us that this girl, I believe her name is Ruxian. Basically, this girl is a strong feminist who believes in doing something good. And okay, I get that. But throughout the movie, she didn't really display any of those characteristics that were mentioned by Yang. Maybe you can argue that, you know, in the jungle scene, she did all of those. But after that, she's just a damsel in distress. Not only that, and I feel a bit bad for saying this, but her acting is just horrendous. Like, trying to think what is her purpose or her role in the movie. Like, what did she achieve? If she's playing like just a love interest for Yang, then okay, she did it. But you know, she's anything but a strong-willed, courageous feminist that was described earlier in the movie. Besides the girls acting, I couldn't really say much about the others for their acting performance because mainly it's just bad editing choices. And you know what, for a spy action thriller movie directed by Stanley Tong, I just find that the fighting choreography scenes in this movie is really bad as well, and it's mainly because of the editing quick cuts. For example, if you have watched the movie Taken 2 or was it 3, I forgot. It was the scene when Liam Neeson, when he was trying to jump over a fence, right? On paper, it should be an easy shot. Just put the camera there and, let him jump over. But no, the editing scene, what they did was so likewise in this movie, although not as exaggerated as Taken 2, but it was something like that. So besides the choppy fight choreography scenes, there were too many characters in the movie. I just don't care because they weren't given enough background. Who's that person? Who's that IT guy that is riding on a jetpack, I think. Like, I don't know anything about them and I just don't care. At one point, they did try to highlight the brother bond between Yang and his partner, I forgot his name. And honestly speaking, when he was dead in the movie, but somehow later revived because movie magic, I didn't really care if he lived at all because there wasn't much character development. Actually, none of the characters in the movie have any development at all. So that's just how bad the script writing is. It's also worth mentioning that the graphics effect in the movie was really bad, and I just can't help to think that, oh, this is a pretty good amateur fan-made film. The movie is also about almost 2 hours long, and it was painfully long to sit on the chair just waiting for the movie to end. But after the movie ended, they actually showed some behind the scenes clip about the stunt work they've been training, they went to do, how they performed this stunt and how they did that. And when I was watching those clips, I thought to myself, the movie should actually look good on the camera. And they did a lot of practical effects. They had a real lion in the movie, but why did it look so fake? I think ultimately the post-editing process production has betrayed the crew's effort on making this film. If you were to ask me how they could have improved this movie, I would say that it was better for them to focus on Yang and his partner, just like a buddy cop movie, instead of making this Mission Impossible imposter team that I barely know anything about. Anyway, have you watched the movie? Let me know in the comments down below. And what other bad movies have you watched recently? This is Abel, signing out.